Hey guys, HackerSploit here, back again with another video, and welcome back to the web application penetration testing series. And in this video we're going to be looking at OWASP Juice Shop, and probably for the next couple of videos in this series we'll be using OWASP Juice Shop. Now again, when I made my previous videos on OWASP Juice Shop, the only reason I used it was to cover really advanced areas where we talked about tokens and essentially authentication and session management. That's why I wanted to use OWASP Juice Shop. But a lot of you actually enjoyed it and found this web application, or this vulnerable web application, to be quite enjoyable, and it seems to replicate what a real web application would be. A fairly poorly designed one, but the thing I like about it is it has varying levels of difficulty, and that's really awesome. Alright, so I probably showed you how to get it installed. Now I have it set up on Heroku, as you can probably see right over here, and that's using and that works perfectly fine for me because I wanted to set it up really quickly. I don't want to run it on my local server, using Node or Docker. I really didn't have the time to do that. But if you want to, you can use Heroku, and it should be free for you. So yeah, definitely go ahead and give it a try, and you should have an instance set up for yourself so you can go ahead and do it. Now I've fully reset OWASP Juice Shop on my end, and I'm going to be starting from scratch. But one thing I wanted to tell you is that I'm not going to be covering the topics that I have covered in the past with OWASP Juice Shop. So we talked about cross-site scripting, or I will cover some of it, but we're trying to essentially complete all the challenges of OWASP Juice Shop, and this is going to be really exciting. So I haven't completed it yet, surprisingly, so I decided why not do this on the channel. Alright, so it's welcome to OWASP Juice Shop if you haven't seen it already, and it's giving us a prompt here telling us that this website uses fruit cookies to ensure you get the juiciest tracking experience. Now from my experience, I would hit accept the cookies, because essentially that's what keeps track of your progress. Yeah, that should be quite good. Now as for my browser, I'm using the latest version of Firefox, and I have plugins or add-ons like Cookie Editor, and that's pretty much what we'll be needing in this video, I hope. And we don't have the proxies here, like Foxy proxy, to allow us to use things like Burp Suite or Zap, whatever you want to use. Okay, so let's get started. Now the first challenge, as I believe, is to get the scoreboard, and we should start from there. And to do this, I think I have done this already. That's really very simple. All we need to do is, well, first of all, before we actually do that, the interface is quite simple. It is a juice shop, as you probably can see and could have understood, and they sell juice. Now the great thing that I like about OWASP Juice Shop is that this replicates a real life web application with security misconfigurations, etc. So if I hit login, you have your login page right over there, and you can create a new account if you want to. You can search. We have a contact us page that allows us to essentially contact whoever is behind the site, and we have an about us page. And the thing I like about this is, as I said, it replicates what I would call a real web application. Now when we talk about the scoreboard, I think that can be accessed really quickly by going into scoreboard like so. So we can just hit scoreboard, and if I hit enter, that should give us the scoreboard. Alright, so it gives us the notification once you've completed a challenge, and the reason it does this is to notify you of your progress. Remember, this can be considered a capture the flag type of challenge, but I wouldn't call it this. I think this is fantastic for essentially explaining the concepts here. Alright, so let me explain how the scoreboard essentially works. Alright, so your scoreboard is as follows. Sorry about that if you heard my phone. It always seems to do that. So we have the challenges sorted in terms of difficulty. So we have a 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star, and 6 star, and they all have various challenges within them. So for example, the difficulty is sorted in terms of stars, so you get the idea. 1 star is quite easy, 2 stars not so easy. We have 3 stars, things are getting a bit sweaty here. 4 stars, now we're talking. 5 stars, I'm banging my head on the wall. And 6 stars, that's going to take you probably a few days or hours, depending on your determination. Alright, so you can see it also gives you the challenge names here. So if I click on the 2-star challenges, you can go ahead and look at the challenges there. And I think in the previous videos, we covered a lot of the 2-star and some of the 4-star challenges. That's what I wanted to go through. So the 3-star challenges are where things get really awesome, because it tells you to start logging in with other users. And there's a bit of cross-site scripting. I'm not going to go through all of that. Let's start off with what we can do. All right, so the first challenge in the first star is access the administration section of the store. All right, so I'm guessing we have to try and log in. Now, I think I've done this. This is the first challenge. We have to access a confidential document, provoke an error that is not very gracefully handled. Not too sure what that is. Let us redirect you. I'll try and cover as many as I can in one video. We have a cross-site scripting attack. This was simple. I think we covered this. So yeah, we can pretty much run that in one of these right over here. So script and alert, as it already gives you hints. These are very, very easy. So you can just say test. Have I given the, oops, sorry, my bad. So yeah, there we are, test. And we close that up, and we also close the script right over here. And we hit enter, and there we are. So that is one of the challenges solved. Hopefully it did pop up there. So if we go back to the scoreboard, it still tells us, well, for some reason the web application is too low. It's not told us that we have performed a reflected cross-site scripting. Oh, those are DOM. All right, so reflected. Anyway, we'll get to that when we get to it. So if we inspect the login page, what we can do is we can create a user. So I'm going to create a user here, and I'll just use a simple user here called test@test.com, and the password, I'll call that password, and I'm going to repeat the password here, and I'll just call the password, and I'm just going to use name of your favorite pet, and I'm just going to say dog right over here. I'm going to hit register, and I'm just going to save that. All right, so I can log in now. Did I log in with the correct test? Yeah, there we are. And I'm going to hit log in, and we are logged in. All right, so let me just zoom out so the interface does not really crash on us. Let me just get rid of that. All right, so it's sorted out really well. We have the language selector here, your basket, which essentially allows you to select your, to view the items in your basket. You then have your coupon if you want to use a coupon, and you have your checkout, which essentially I believe takes you to the OWASP Juice Shop donate page, if I'm not wrong. Let's just see if that is correct. Yeah, so if you want to support the project, I would you can donate to them. It's a really great project. I really do recommend that if you can, you do so. So you can change your password, which is awesome. I think we also took a look at this and how to change it using the GET requests. Contact us, where you can essentially write in. You can contact the person behind the site or the administrator, as I would believe. You can comment, recycle. What's this? Request a recycling box. So you can type in liters here. That has a selector. All right. Okay, that's not too bad. We have a complaints board and the scoreboard itself here, which for some reason doesn't really load. So let's try and work on the first section. As I mentioned, I'll try and cover as much as I can here. And you have the about us here that has some sort of a, let's see, check out our boring terms of use. Let me just check the scoreboard. What exactly are we supposed to do? Because access the administration section. What's in the 2-star here? Login with the administrator. All right, so we're trying to access the administration section. So let's try and access that right over here. So I'm just going to type in administration like so. I'm going to hit enter, and yeah, that was pretty easy. And we get the email right over here, admin@juiceshop. That's the admin email, and we have all the emails right over here. So we have Jim at Juice Shop, Bender, and some other users, and we have ours. So yeah, all right. So we got the registered users, customer feedback, and the recycling requests that have been posted so far, which means we're starting from the basics. So I think we can try and log in with admin, but we don't know the password. So yeah, so I'm just going to log out, and let's see if we can log in with the password here. admin at Juice Shop, and I'm probably guessing we have to use SQL injection, and in this case I think I know what to do because I have done this before, but it has been changed quite a bit since the last time, because I think in the previous versions it was with admin only. There was no domain, or was there username? I'm not too sure. Anyway, let's try and see if we can throw some errors here. So if I log in, alright, so that means you have to provide a password. So let me just try and use the single quotation, and let's see if that, yeah, it does throw an error. And yeah, we completed the other challenge, which you successfully solved the challenge, error handling, provoke an error. So yeah, so we're essentially performing error enumeration. If that's something you've never heard of, it's essentially where you just try and see out the, oh, it's fuzzing really, just throwing, information at a system, seeing how it responds. And we get here the query. Yeah, so we are performing SQL injection because, as you can see, it tells us here we have the query right over here, which is telling us select, and what this is saying is select all entries from the user table where emails are equal to, and we specified the single quotation, and the password is, what is this? This looks like a hash. What hash is this? Let me just check. I think it might be MD5. I'm not too sure. Let me just check this. Hash identifier, and we just paste that in there. Sorry about that. Let me just paste that in there. Yeah, this is a MD5 hash. So that probably, let's just see if we can decrypt that or decode that. So I'm just going to say MD5 decryptor or something like that. Let's just see if we can do this online really quickly. Come on, come on. I want to see what error, because that's telling us that's a password. Let's decrypt that, and well, for some reason it's taking too much time here. So yeah, it's essentially hashing the password. All right, interesting stuff there. We actually now know that the password is being hashed, obviously, with the MD5 hashing algorithm or protocol, whatever you want to call it. So original, and yeah, that is the query statement there. So we can try some basic SQL injection, and some of the basic ones to log into admin, or to essentially log into the administration, the admin panel is. Now the thing that's weird is, are we going to use the password? Yeah, we're trying to get authentication, so that means, let me just close that. That means if we just throw the error one more time, or when you're able to get the query here, so we are saying select, actually it starts from there, select from users. So select all queries or all entries from the user table, from where email user table. So there's users. All right, so the user table has email and password. Okay, I follow now. So that means we can try and use the OR statement here, and probably we can use the not statement if we are going to, yeah, that will make a lot of sense, but we're only using email, so we'll keep the single quotation. So what that means is if you know about SQL injection, hopefully I can explain what's going on here. So we know that the password is being hashed. So we're saying select from the table where email and password. So that's the statement. So select from the table. So select from the users table where the email and password is going to be equal to what we have entered. But remember, the password has to stay as the single quotation. So that means, yeah, we are going to be using the OR. So this is basic. You guys should be knowing this, but if you want me to cover it, let me know. So OR equals, so OR 1 equals 1, and the other ways of doing this, I think I'll post a cheat sheet in the description section. You can check it out for yourself just to get up to scratch with what's happening here. So what we're saying is we're using the OR. The syntax of OR is very simple. It's where we have the what's happening here is we're saying, okay, so if you know the syntax for how a query is made in SQL, it's really very simple. So we're saying select from the table. Remember, this is specifying a table, not a column. So we're saying select from the users table, select from the users table email, password. So we're comparing, and then we say all, and then we specify the condition. where the value we can enter are in 2 fields. So we can say the value of the email can always be changed. And we obviously know that that is the first account that was created, and the password is going to remain the same. So we hit login, and yeah, we still keep on getting an error here. Now that is weird. No, because if I specify there is no comment here, or 1 equals 1. Yeah, so it is working. So you can see, so select from users where 1 equals 1 and password. Yeah, so we want to nullify and password. We don't want and there. So for that we use a comment here. And there we are. Excellent. So we're able to log in to the administrator's user account. All right, so let me explain what happened there. So as I said, the syntax or the query was as follows. So we're selecting from the users table, we're selecting the email and password and comparing them to each other, so they have to match. So we're performing a query, a simple query, and what we said is or. That's a conditional statement. So we're saying or, that we specified the condition where the first value is going to be equal to the first one is going to be equal to 1, and we nullify the password where the password. So essentially removing authentication, and because we are including the comment syntax for SQL. All right, so that was pretty simple, but now the thing that's bothering me is we don't have the password. So let me just check the scoreboard here and let's see what progress we've made so far. So we've accessed the administration section. That's not in here, that is in here. So log in with the administrator's user account. But I don't know what the password is, so I think that's how we're going to be logging in. We know the email, because if I just go back into administration here, administration, I hope the video is not getting too long. So we have the admin, email here. Oh yes, we have the token. So if we inspect the element, and we go into the cookie editor, for example, we can use that, or you can just use storage. Well, I should have done it, from the cookie editor from the beginning. So we have the token here, and I talked about this in my other video. I actually went through this with the token. So we're going to say token. I think the site it's a JSON token. So token decode, and it should be the first site. Yeah, there, JSON web tokens. So jwt.io. That's an excellent site. And we talked about this. So if you want to watch that video, I'll post it in the description, so you can check it out. And the email is admin. So that's the authentication token, and that gives us all the information we need. All right. So we have the password here, but again, what is this hashed into? That looks like MD5 again, but let me just confirm and let's see what that gives us. So the password is hashed, as we know, with MD5. So let's just confirm. Hash identifier, because there we are. Yeah, it is MD5. So let's just decrypt that one more time. So I'm just going to paste in that hash there. I'm just going to decrypt. Let's give that a few seconds. Oh my god, man, all the traffic lights. And let's hit verify. And yeah, there we are. The password is admin123. Yeah, that's pretty basic, but again, replicating common practice that you would find. So what was the email? Oh boy, what was the email? Let me just see if I can log back. Oh, crack. All right, so let me just use the statement. So yeah, we're logging in. So or 1 equals 1, because what was the? I think we can access the email from the administration. Sorry about that, guys. I know I'm getting really mixed up. Well, we're not logged in yet. So anyway, let me just log in, and we can do the administration here. And the admin at Juice Shop, at Juice Shop, at juice.op. Yeah, that's there to confuse people, so you can guess it. And we're logging in with that, and the password is admin123. I'm gonna log in, and yeah, fantastic. So you solved a challenge, password strength. So that was the problem there. That's the vulnerability that they're trying to say exists. So, again, password strength is something that people don't take into account. Log in with administrator user credentials without previously changing them or applying SQL. Could you have done this with SQL injection? Probably. I'll have to cover SQL injection, because, SQL injection is one of those things that's really dependent on the query. So let me just go back to the scoreboard here. I don't understand what else is left. There's still a lot of stuff that I have to cover. I talked about cross-site scripting, but I think I'll cover that in the next video. I'll explain it again. What is the confidential document? Error handling. Well, we don't have anything much there. Access someone else's basket. I did that. What else should I want to cover here? Let's look at these ones right over here. So yeah, so the authentication area here is where I want to look at. I think that's where I'm going to end this video. I know I haven't covered any advanced stuff, but hopefully that's like an introduction. So where we have been able to log into the administrators in the administrator's account. We were able to get the scoreboard, the administration panel. What else were we able to do? We were able to provoke an error, nothing really complex there, and we were able to log in with the administrator's user credentials. Looks like we can actually get access to McSafe search original user's credentials. So again, another user that we can try and get access into. So I think I'll make a separate video on getting access into all the other user accounts. Alright, so I think that's where I'm going to end this episode. I know I wanted to cover a lot more, but I want to keep these short so people don't get bored and just click off the video. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you found value in this video, please leave a like down below. If you have any questions or suggestions, let me know in the comment section on my social networks or on my website, and I'll be sure to leave your reply, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace, guys.